immigration system is broken. We all know that. We all agree on that. We missed a chance to fix it in this Congress. And now the debate since that time has gone sour. Today we are not here to advocate a policy or a bill. To share concerns about a conversation, how we are talking about people. That's the way I would put this. This immigration policy question is for us, as people of faith, really the welcoming the stranger issue. That's what we call it. How do you treat those who are strangers in your midst? There is no doubt this debate has turned toward fear and anger. Let me say again, there are legitimate issues at stake in this debate. The rule of law is important. The system is broken. But the tenor of the debate has really gone in an alarming direction. And that's why we're here today. And so we don't want to be in a situation where Christian ministry is made illegal. And we're close to that now. And so I think you're going to hear from people in the churches across the political spectrum that if you tell us Christian ministry is illegal, we will go ahead and do Christian ministry, whether it is legal or not. I'm also concerned about the talk. Talk is important. How we talk about people is very important. So I'm concerned when I read statements like an Arizona talk show host saying, "What we'll do is randomly pick one night every week where we will kill whoever crosses the border. Step over there and you die. You get to decide whether it's your lucky night or not." I think that would be fun. Well, it wouldn't be fun, and that kind of talk poisons the body politic. So we have to stand up against talk like that.
No person is illegal in God's eyes. Most disturbing is that some of our elected officials are using the issue of immigration as a political issue and not addressing it as a human problem that needs to be addressed. Our conference believes that we cannot sustain a status quo that accepts the toil and taxes of the undocumented population on one hand, yet scapegoats and dehumanizes them on the other. We cannot employ workers and then refuse to offer them the protection of the law. This is contrary to our history, it's contrary to our heritage, and it's contrary to the democratic principles that we all cherish. This issue is at the heart of our faith in Christ Jesus. It's at the heart of our teaching to welcome the stranger among us. How deep is it? Well, when Jesus spoke those words in Matthew's Gospel, when you welcome the stranger, you welcome me, I can't help but think he was thinking of his own beginnings when he became one of us, as he himself was a refugee, an immigrant, an asylum seeker, because he was fleeing persecution and injustice. It's at the heart of our mission, of our faith, and I pray that we can do something about it. Thank you very much.
Will apathy, nativism, and xenophobia silence the voices of recent compromise, family values, our Judeo-Christian ethos, and even border protection? It is time for reasonable Americans and for the faith community to rise up and clearly state that we all desire to protect our borders and apply the rule of law. But we will not embrace the nativist and discriminatory rhetoric articulated under the guise of border protection. We can stop illegal immigration, protect our borders, protect our values, and simultaneously protect the American dream only if we work within the framework of our Judeo-Christian heritage and repudiate all discriminatory and bigoted threats. And at the border and in our communities, we have the poor, we have the suffering, the seekers, the Samaritans, and the strangers. Yet above all, in vast majority, what we have at the borders and in the fields, in our cities and in our farms, are our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. This holiday season, let us gather around reason, faith, hope, and unity. Let the Ramirez's and the Gomez and Sanchez's join the Jones, the Smith, and the Williams as we partake of the Lord's Supper. Let us strengthen our borders, strengthen our values, strengthen our fellow Christians at the border, and in doing so, and only then, can we ever protect and strengthen the American dream.
The demonization of immigrants in the media and by some members of Congress, coupled with the sudden increase of deportations and lack of federal regulation of detention standards, represents an assault on the human rights of all immigrants, regardless of their legal status. Most troubling of late is how hateful language is being treated as acceptable in the mainstream media and all too many other public places. I'm sad to say that some of the anti-immigrant voices are members and clergy of my own denomination. Here's an email I received last year from a United Methodist pastor. Just out of curiosity, what part of illegal don't you get? It means that someone entered this country without official sanction. They crossed the border of this sovereign nation without having authorization to do so. That is a technical invasion or an act of war. What that means is that these enemy combatants are fair game for being rounded up and herded into prisoner of war compounds until a state of war declared by Mexican, Central, and South American neighbors ceases to exist. You are aiding and abetting the enemy, which is an act of treason. I will be there to see you arrested for treason, and then I'll cheer as you are carted off to the pokey. Fortunately, there are other leaders in our church who do not share those views. In February, United Methodist bishops in the United States will meet on the border near El Paso with Mexican Methodist bishops, create a border bishops network, and to carry on cooperation that already takes place to assist our sisters and brothers who are moving back and forth between the United States and Mexico. Regardless of where one stands on the policy debate, the dehumanization of immigrants is at clear odds with Christian values of compassion, mercy,